Hello everyone, Tabzz here, professional TFT player from Team Liquid. I'm here to show you guys how to play the latest broken comp in 10.21. It is 6 Divines. As you guys know, in 10.21 Divine received a serious rework, causing them to gain an increased amount of true damage and take less damage for a limited amount of time after reaching a certain amount of health or after doing 6 basic attacks. So let's hop right into the builder and show you guys how this build works. Let's look at the core units of our comp. It's going to be 5 Divines, and one of them is going to be a Chosen. Easiest ones to get are a Lux, Jax, or Aurelia. Maybe you can get lucky and find a Warwick, but you don't have to. It's not necessary at all. In fact, an early Jax Chosen can win streak you almost the entire game, especially if you have a Locket. Talking about Locket, let's go over some of the core items for the build. We're going to start off with the most core item, which is a static shift on Warwick. And because it is so core, you kind of want to try and start with a bow or a tier, because this build will not work without this item. Keep that in mind. If you cannot start with one of these, then try to start with half a Locket instead. Locket is also kind of core to this build because you have a lot of frontline units and you want them to be a little bit more tanky throughout the game. So let's go over some of the best items on Warwick. So best in slot, what you'd really love to have and what could win you the game. After static shift, the most important one is Quicksilver to make sure your Warwick doesn't get disabled. This is very important in almost every matchup, especially in the mirror matchup against other players of this build, because if your Warwick is crowd controlled, you're going to lose automatically. So this is a very, very important item. As a third item, you can be quite flexible, but I would choose another offensive item. You could either choose another static shift, maybe a Death Blade, you know, any AD attack speed item is good. Although I do recommend not going Rage Blade or RFC, because RFC makes him howl out of range. So be sure to never put RFC on Warwick. Titans is also a decent choice, makes it a little more tanky, gives him more attack speed, and some more damage as well. And so that's about it for the build. It's very simple. These 5 units are core, and now let's go on to the supportive units. What we would like to add to this. I think that Mystics is very important in this build, and Adept. So what we're gonna look to add is a Yone, a Janna, and a Shen, if we can find them. Right here. This will finish off the comp with Enlighten, Adept, and Mystic, which will further help your comp shine. Adept also procs the static shift bonus true damage. As you guys know, in 10.21, static shift got buffed to deal extra 175 true damage to shield or crowd controlled enemies, and Divine has a lot of crowd control. And this build in general has incredible amounts of crowd control, which will really help Warwick shine and destroy everybody. So let's move on to the early game and how to play this comp in general. It is quite simple. You want to pick a good early game Chosen and try to play your strongest board. If you can't find any good Chosen and you have bad items, don't worry, you can lose streak, it's no problem. Try to get a 5 lose streak into Krugs and you'll have so much money that you'll probably be able to hit everything you want, and also get some more priority to get your items, your static shiv and your lockets, which will help you spike in the mid game a lot. So generally, the rules to try and win streak in the early game is you have a good Chosen, you have a locket, or you have a static shiv, or a combination of those 3. If you can meet those conditions, you can try to level up on 2-1 and try to win streak the early game and preserve HP. So for the mid game, we're talking about after Wolves, so mostly stage 4 and 5. Make sure you're stable on 4-1. Do not be afraid to roll on level 7, especially if you do not have it Chosen and you're low on health. You're going to have to spend at this point to try and stabilize your board. You need a Divine Chosen and you need to try and have at least like 4 Divines and some good items in at this point, or you're going to get rolled by all the other players. However, if you are stable at this point of the game, feel free to go to level 8 as quickly as possible, because you do need to find Yone and Lee Sin in this build, so you need 2 legendaries for the final build. So the sooner you can get to level 8, the better. After you get all of it completed, be sure to enjoy watching Warwick destroy everybody by permanently stunning them and dealing infinite amounts of true damage. So guys, enjoy this build while it is still not hotfixed. Hope you guys can all climb in this patch, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace.